If you do vacation rentals such as Airbnb or small hotel-motel in seasonal cities and you offer a swimming pool, you know that there is always transitional period in the weather when guests start arriving to your properties and willing to have fun and swim in the pool, but the water there is just too chilly or cold. You don't want to miss on those guests, and you can even pick up some visitors off-season time if you offer your pool to get heated. On example of my property in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, I will explain the steps and how much it might cost you to add the heating feature to your swimming pool. I needed to involve 4 companies to get it done. You have 4 options how to heat your pool, and depending on climate where you're at, available space on your lot and access to gas utilities, you're gonna need to choose which path you want to go. Solar pool heaters are most effective in sunny, warm weather, and their ability to raise pool water temperature significantly diminishes in colder climates with reduced sunlight. The whole concept of solar heating is not entirely new, but still in adoption period and constant subject for debates regarding effectiveness, high upfront cost that needs to be paid for installation, and some promised by salesmen tax benefits. But I can tell you with assurance that unless you're in Florida or very southern parts of the country, solar heating will not be enough to have year-round heated pool. Solar panels just unable to draw enough energy from weekend sunlight on chilly winter, yet alone cold one. And what about space factor, as solar panels require a significant amount of area to be accommodated there, which definitely not doable in high-density zones where we investors trying to utilize every available square foot of our lots. You can locate them on the roof of the building, but in this case it's better to use solar panels for servicing your property, not the pool. Consider all these factors before making a call. Electric heaters run out of your electricity, which will add to your power bill. The unit gonna cost over $3,000 plus installation for 20,000 gallons pool, but you need to set your expectations right. Heat pumps work by drawing outside air, so similar to solar panels, they are the most efficient in warm, mild climates, and unless better technologies, they are almost useless if temperature outside is below 50 degrees. Also, they are slow to heat up the water if temperature outdoor is on chilly side, and might easily take over a day for big size pools, which will increase your power bill significantly. Gas is the best and fastest way to heat your pool water. If you don't have natural gas service, you can go with propane-powered pool heater, which will require you to have propane tanks on site. I would say it's kinda extreme option, as you need to make a deal with propane supplier who will be servicing you delivering big tanks, or bury into the ground and coming to refill it. And propane is expensive and you run out of it quick. Don't forget the factor of available space, as you need to locate this massive tanks somewhere. Also, there are regulations to install tanks in certain distance away from the property. Prohibited! But whatever does the job. If other options don't work for you and you need to warm up your pool in cold climates, propane pool heating is the way to go. In my opinion, natural gas heating is the best choice you can make. It's not the cheapest one, however, it's the most effective and fast, and that's what you need offering pool heating in your rentals. You don't want to play with promises to guests and timing to heat the pool and outdoor temperatures affecting it, you just need to get it done. Operational cost as gas utility expenses typically will be put on guests anyway, and this is the road I went. It took me 4 companies to get this project done. Gas utility, gas plumbing, electrical, pool plumbing. First of all, if you don't have gas utilities run to your property, check with local utility company whether they have a service in your area, so they can run gas lines for you. In my area they had it right on the block, so it was only about the work to run it across to my house. But for one of my other projects, it took a few months for utility company to run the line from the main road through our street, because due to big scope of work, they didn't want to run it only to my house, and it took a time for them to discuss and plan and run the line through entire street that potentially gonna service other houses as well. They are pouring all the way from 3 houses down. Since it's a utility company that quote-unquote providing services, they do all of the construction work for free up to the point where they're gonna install the meter by your property. However, my local gas utility company Dominion is applying monthly base charge as little over $11 even if you don't use the gas, so don't hesitate to install your equipment to avoid paying small sums but for nothing. Planning location of your equipment is very important part to help you save on installation cost. You want to be as close as possible to your swimming pool equipment with everything including utility gas lines. The closer you are, the less pool plumbing lines and gas plumbing lines the contractor's gonna need to run, so your charges will be less. Unfortunately, in my project I was so tight with space that the only location for gas heater we had was on the back of the house by pool room, but can't run utilities under the house through slab, so utility gas lines and meter were installed on the other side of the property. Remember, you need to find the path for all your gas and plumbing lines not having concrete slabs there, because it will cost you way more expensive to cut the concrete and then fix it or pour new one. Gas plumbing is simply running gas pipes from utility service lines and meter to your equipment. One more line I asked the company to run for the future water heater that located currently inside because it's electric one, but then in the future when we replace it to gas, that's how we're gonna use this line that currently has a stop up. Any gas company and some qualified plumbing companies do this type of work. My project was done few years ago. Considering crazy inflation, your rates and charges might be higher, depending on length of lines.
Yeah, we should be good.
With all the digging, permit, don't forget you're gonna need that one, and extra line for water heater location, my total for this work was little under $2.5K. Typically, pool equipment and outdoor fixtures are serviced by dedicated Subpanel. During development of the property, I had some add-ons like palm tree lights and outdoor laundry units. Well pump is on the way, so my outdated panel just couldn't hold all this load and I had issues with breakers tripping. You don't need a lot of extra voltage for gas heater as it doesn't draw much, only minimum for ignition. But you gotta make sure all your electrical can handle the load. Mine was completely messed up, so we ran new feeder wire to pool room with updating panel, changed inside panel and outside disconnect. With some additional outlets and small fixes, my total came to over $8K. But depending on status of electrical wiring, your charges might be way less or maybe even avoided if you have all new electrical system. The last phase of work is gas heater installation with running PVC plumbing lines to your equipment, handled by pool company. Typically they hook up electrical line as well. We had little concrete pathwalk on the way of PVC lines that we had to cut. We decided to do it with my helper to save some money, otherwise, as I mentioned, the charges would go up. The gas heater itself will be the highest expense, over $4K for mine. The total amount for heater installation, plumbing and electrical hookup did cost me $6,000. To summarize everything, I spent over $16K total for entire project and very happy how it worked out, giving comfort to my Airbnb guests and allowing me to have more reservations offering heated pool. I 100% recommend you to make this investment. In next video, I will explain how much do you charge your guests for pool heating, don't miss it out. I hope this video was helpful to you. Please like it and subscribe to my channel not to miss on future real estate and development projects.